Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're exploring one of the most vibrant and historic districts in Singapore, Chinatown. I'm starting right here at Maxwell MRT station, exit 2, and I'll take you on a walking tour that blends heritage, culture, food, and architecture, all in one route. Alright, we've just stepped out of Maxwell MRT, exit 2, and now I'm heading along Neil Road, one of the oldest roads in this area. It's actually named after Colonel Neil of the Madras Fusiliers, a British military officer during the colonial period. As I walk along Neil Road, take a look at the architecture around me. Rows of conserved shophouses line the street, with classic 5-foot ways, pastel colors, and those ornate wooden shutters. Some of these date all the way back to the early 1900s. As I continue along Neil Road, I'm coming up to the junction where I'll turn left into Tek Lim Road. Tek Lim Road is a small but historically rich side street. It was named after Ong Tek Lim, the son of Ong Kyu Ho, a prominent Chinese businessman in the 19th century. He was part of the wealthy Straits Chinese community, also known as the Peranakans. This street has a more intimate feel. You'll notice it's quieter than the main road, and the buildings here are just as charming. Some now house boutique stays, bars, and small creative studios. It's a blend of elegance and edge. On your left, you'll see a row of low-rise buildings with timber louvres and tiled walls. Those were once family homes and small trades like tailoring, traditional medicine, and even gambling dens. There's a real sense of nostalgia here. If you walk this route in the evening, fairy lights and soft jazz music from the bars give the street a totally different mood, calm, cozy, even a little cinematic. Alright, just up ahead is one of the most iconic buildings in this district. And here it is, the legendary 1939 building, now home to Potato Head, Singapore. That curved corner is a showstopper. It follows the bend in the road perfectly, making it look like a ship sailing through Chinatown. Now that we've explored the beautiful 1939 building, it's time to head to our next stop, the oldest Hindu temple in Singapore, Sri Mariamman Temple. To get there, I'm walking along Keong Saik Road, one of my favorite streets in this area. Keong Saik was named after Tan Keong Saik, a wealthy Chinese businessman who championed education for girls in the early 1900s. But in the mid-20th century, this street had a completely different reputation. It was known for its brothels and nightclubs. Many of the shophouses here were once licensed vice establishments. You wouldn't know it today, though. Look at how beautifully restored they are. From here, I'm turning onto South Bridge Road, which leads us right into the heart of Chinatown's religious and cultural heritage zone. This is Sri Mariamman Temple, the oldest Hindu temple in Singapore, built way back in 1827 by Narayana Pillai, who arrived with Stamford Raffles from Penang. The temple is dedicated to Mariamman, a South Indian goddess known for her power to cure diseases and protect the community. Back in the day, Hindu immigrants would come here for blessings, especially during times of illness. Alright, after visiting the beautiful Sri Mariamman Temple, I'm turning right back the way I came. No need to walk down South Bridge Road. I'm looping straight back into Keong Saik Road. And there it is again, that unmistakable curve. We're back in front of Potato Head at the 1939 building. This is honestly one of the most iconic corners in Chinatown. Seeing it from this head-on view really shows off the Art Deco curves and clean lines. It's almost like the building is gently leaning into the flow of the street. I love how the past and present meet here. A once humble Kopi Tayam turned into a modern-day rooftop bar, yet the exterior remains a piece of history. If you're doing a walking tour like this one, take a few extra seconds to soak in the details. Even the typography on the signage and the red trim are faithful to the 1930s vibe. Keong Saik has that perfect mix of old soul and new spirit. It's a street that wears its history proudly, yet doesn't shy away from embracing the modern. Earlier, we passed stylish boutique hotels tucked inside beautifully restored shophouses, trendy cafes with minimalist interiors, and bars hidden behind vintage wooden doors. Now, walking it from the other direction, the street feels completely transformed, like it's revealing another side of its personality. Look around. You'll notice new details with every step. Maybe it's a quirky neon sign above a gelato shop you missed earlier, or the smell of sourdough bread baking in a cafe kitchen that you couldn't smell before. The natural lighting changes the way the colors on the shop houses pop, and the angles let you see the intricate Peranakan tiles you might have overlooked the first time. There's a quiet rhythm to this street, the clinking of cutlery from brunch diners, the hum of soft jazz spilling out from a bar's open windows, and occasionally, the unmistakable shout of a kopi order from an old uncle at a coffee shop that's been here for decades. And that's what makes Kiyongsake so special. It's where heritage and hip coexist. A street where a tattoo parlor might sit beside a traditional Chinese medicine shop, and where old mosaic floor tiles lead you into a space filled with handcrafted cocktails and indie art. This blend of textures, of smells, of generations is what makes this walk worth slowing down for. Kiyongsake isn't just a place you pass through. It's a place that invites you to look closer. Before we move further, let's pause and appreciate the history of Kiyongsake Road, because it's one of the most fascinating streets in Singapore's Chinatown, a place where stories are embedded in every tile and balcony. This road was named after Tan Kiyongsake, a prominent Chinese businessman, philanthropist, and community leader in the late 19th century. He was deeply involved in the Chinese Chamber of Commerce and the Straits Chinese-British Association. But most notably, he supported education and social welfare, especially for women, which was quite progressive for his time. Naming this road after him was a tribute to his contributions. But Kiyongsake Road itself took a very different path. In the 1930s to 1950s, it became known for something else entirely. It was part of Singapore's red light district. Many of the three-story shop houses that line the street today were once home to brothels operating upstairs, with the ground floors serving as social spaces like tea houses or barber shops. Now I'm walking along Neil Road, and immediately, the energy feels different here. It's calmer, slower, like this street is taking a breath while the rest of the city rushes by. Neil Road is one of Singapore's heritage-rich corridors, a place where every shop house has a story. Look closely and you'll see the mix of architectural styles, Art Deco curves, Edwardian-era columns, Peranakan tilework, and delicate wooden shutters, all lining the road like old friends standing shoulder to shoulder. You'll notice some of these buildings have been beautifully restored, painted in soft pastels or bold heritage colors. Some house stylish homeware stores, bespoke tailors, or cozy bakeries. But others? They've been left untouched, weathered by time, with faded paint and old iron gates that creak when the wind blows. And somehow, they feel even more alive that way. This street has seen a lot. Back in the early 1900s, Neil Road was part of a thriving residential area for Chinese immigrants, many of whom were working-class traders and craftsmen. You'd have heard the clink of teacups from street-side kopi stalls, the clang of metal from smithies, and the chatter of Cantonese, Hokkien, and Teochew filling the air. And while the sounds have changed, the soul remains. Today, as I walk, I can hear the soft hum of air conditioning units, the clang of dishes from a back kitchen, and somewhere in the distance, the ring of a bicycle bell. And here again are those famous 5-footways, covered corridors built to shelter pedestrians from rain or harsh sun. These were a requirement under the 1822 town plan by Stamford Raffles himself. Even now, they remain a brilliant feature of urban design, creating shaded, breezy walkways that link building to building. Along this stretch, you'll find a mix of design studios, quiet co-working spaces, and wellness salons, many hidden behind unmarked doors or minimalist signs. But sandwiched in between, you'll also find old-school shops, like hardware stores, Chinese medicine halls, or tiny convenience stalls manned by uncles who've been here for decades. Somewhere nearby, someone is frying garlic, and the smell wafts across the street. It's subtle, but comforting. It reminds me that Maxwell Food Center is getting closer. And there it is. Just past those trees, across the road, the iconic Maxwell Food Center, tucked at the junction like a well-kept secret. If you've been to Singapore before, chances are you've heard about it. If it's your first time, get ready. And now we've arrived. Maxwell Food Center, one of Singapore's most beloved hawker centers. From the outside, it might look like just another food court, But step inside, and you'll discover a place filled with local flavor, tradition, and heart. The moment you walk in, it hits you, the aroma. Rich chicken stock, smoky stir-fries, bubbling soups, and garlic sizzling in hot oil. It's the kind of scent that instantly makes you hungry, even if you weren't before. Maxwell isn't just a food stop, it's a pillar of Singaporean culture. A place where students, office workers, taxi drivers, and tourists all sit shoulder to shoulder, united by their love of great food. It's been around since the 1950s, originally set up to house street hawkers in a cleaner, more organized environment. Over the years, it's become a national treasure. You won't find fancy decor or fine dining service, but what you get here is authenticity. Food made from recipes passed down for generations. Of course, you can't come here without mentioning Tian Hainanese chicken rice. Even the late Anthony Bourdain praised it, and Gordon Ramsay once competed against it. The line is almost always long, but for many, it's worth the wait. The rice is fragrant, the chicken tender, and the sauce just perfect. But it's not all about chicken rice. There's also zhuzhen porridge, serving hot Cantonese-style porridge that warms your soul. You'll find Fuzhou oyster cakes, carrot cake, which is actually made of radish, rojak, fish soup, laksa, and more. Every dish has a story, every stallholder a legacy. Listen to the rhythm. Metal ladles clanking against woks, hawkers shouting out numbers, the chop 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 of cleavers hitting the board. It's music, the soundtrack of daily life in Singapore. This is a place where people don't just eat, they connect. You'll see strangers sharing tables, regulars chatting with stall owners, and families passing down food traditions over shared trays. Here's a tip if it's your first time: walk a full round before deciding. Follow your nose. Follow the cues. Or better yet, ask someone what they're having. Singaporeans love talking about food. Once you've got your plate, grab a seat. It's usually first come, first served. And don't forget to return your tray after. It's part of being a responsible diner here. And here it is, the stunning Buddha Tooth Relic Temple and Museum, right in the heart of Chinatown. That's it for today's walk. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.